Welcome back to Animated Times, Joe Todd with you. Today we're going to talk about 10 worst movie CGI of 2019. CGI effects are used in almost every movie released nowadays, be it for a $2 million blockbuster or a smaller indie film. Needless to say, we can all agree that CGI is a pretty relevant part of any Hollywood film. 2019 has certainly given us its fair share of CGI, and while some excelled at its use, some really didn't reach the expected standards. Honestly, in this day and age, it might even be a little embarrassing. So, here we have the top 10 films of 2019 which served us with some of the most awful CGI effects compared to other movies this year. Number 1. The giant fight in HELLBOY. Can we all agree that HELLBOY's 2019 remake was one of the worst blockbusters of the year? Yes. Great. Now we can move on. One of the most compliments that came in the film was the downright embarrassing CGI, especially in the scene where the two giants battle. Every time the camera moves, the scene resembles a digital blur and almost well fitted with some horrible CGI tracking movements. It doesn't even look like HELLBOY is a part of the fight, rather just running across the field and acting across nothing. Number 2, the trash tier green screen in Angel Has Fallen. If you watch the Gerard Butler's Has Fallen franchise, then there's no doubt you've come across several scenes where CGI is just plain terrible. Towards the end of the film, after the ICU of a hospital is blown up, we see Agent Mike Banning coming to the rescue of the President Trumbull. As this happens while the building is collapsing in a way that screams, "This is CGI." Not just that, soon enough Banning and Trumbull are CGI'd in front of a green screen that is supposed to be smoke. And with all the lighting discrepancies that it came with, well, let's just say it looked ridiculous. Number 3, classic Dreamland and Dumbo. Tim Burton did an amazing job in bringing our beloved baby elephant to life. However, when it comes to the CGI, there's no doubt that it could have been better. As the movie progresses, we see one scene where V.A. Vanderveer takes Dumbo to a dreamland, which just looks like plastic. All the signs and structures just look too shiny to actually be real, and the building in the background don't even look like they're a part of the set. Number 4, random green screen in the kitchen. Correctly implementing green screens may prove to be difficult, and on screen, a minor discrepancy in the scene will just make it stand out, and not in a good way. Halfway through the kitchen, viewers are cut to a scene where 3 women are walking down the street before they stumble upon a jeweler's body. There's undoubtedly something off about the scene, and that's the fact that the use of green screen was made explicitly apparent. Even the lighting doesn't match between them and the background. Number 5, Uncanny Valley Rev 9 in Terminator Dark Fate. Most of the Terminator Dark Fate is just overhyped action sequences with tons of CGI coated over it. Probably one of the most formidable scenes would be the opening truck chase with Terminator Rev 9. It's pretty evident that the Rev 9 is almost an entirely digital creation, who looks way too plastic to be human. It doesn't help with the setting of the film at all. Number 6, almost everything in Aladdin. What came with the long-awaited live-action remake of Aladdin was the ridiculous, unrealistic sets. The costumes look more like it was rented from a fancy dress shop, and there was almost no relation with the more humane aspects of the filming compared to the overwhelming CGI. Number 7, the power station chase in Hobbs and Shaw. Almost all the films in the Fast and the Furious franchise is filled with unnecessary amounts of CGI, to the point where the vehicles even defy the laws of physics. In the power station sequence, the Shaw siblings smash through some windows and flash through the air in a vehicle that seems all too unrealistic. It's more aligned with a horrible video game sequence. Number 8, video game dogfights in Midway. Speaking of horrible video games, no movie reached those standards than Midway. The film contained only shiny plastic battle scenes that looked straight out of a mediocre video game. At this point, it's a little embarrassing how CGI can turn out this bad. Number 9, Captain Marvel crashes to Earth. Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel certainly excelled with CGI effects in some parts, but that's not what we're here for. When we see Carol being hurled down to Earth by Jan Rog, there's the appearance of the disconcerting CGI scene. The background is just a weird blur, projected in the cheapest looking way possible. It was certainly a sore thumb compared to the rest of the film. Number 10, young Frank kicks some ass in The Irishman. Martin Scorsese's The Irishman was undoubtedly a box office success, and the CGI on de-aging Robert De Niro's character was certainly impressive. However, 20 minutes into the movie, we see De Niro's character, Frank Sheeran, beating up a shopkeeper. While De Niro's face is undoubtedly younger, his body language still resembled every bit of a 74-year-old man he is. Looks incredibly odd and definitely sets an uncomfortable feeling on the eyes. There you have it, folks. That's the top 10. If we missed any that you want to throw in there, make sure you leave them in the comments below. Smash the like button, hit subscribe for more awesome content from Animated Times.